Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I'm be talking about Fyr'alath the Dreamrender, the legendary axe. I got that this week. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to kind of go through the process of when you get it and how you create it from the eyes of a rep paladin. If it helps you out as a warrior or DK, that's great too. Feel free to stick around for the video if it does help you. I'm going to kind of go through the process of it, the cost of it, all that kind of stuff. And then also in the second half of the video, I'm going to talk about actually using it and its power and stuff like that. So I think the best way to do this is kind of to pull up a guide and kind of like go through my own experience with it. So first things first, to loot this weapon, you just need to kill Fyr'alath, right? It can drop on, I know it can drop on normal, heroic, and obviously drop on mythic. Maybe it can drop on LFR too. I haven't seen that confirmed, I guess, but I assume it's like that. And it's just a better chance the higher difficulty you do. You also get bad luck protection from killing mythic bosses, and you can get bad luck protection from at least from killing heroic Fyr'alath, maybe from normal Fyr'alath too. Basically, just doing the raid, you will get some bad luck protection from it as well. And eventually, hopefully you will be able to loot it, although, maybe it could still be weeks away. Maybe it could be 1 kill away. Who knows? But when you loot it, you try to put it on. It doesn't work. And instead it gives you a quest. And so you're going to get a quest where you're going to need a Leatherworker to help you, an Enchanter to help you, and a Scribe to help you. So the first thing you're going to have to do, though, is do some really kind of annoying stuff that's mostly in the Emerald Dream. For Leatherworking, Glowspore Grip, you have to do the Super Blooms. So this one is by far the hardest one. This will take you the most time overall, even though Super Blooms don't take that long, I guess. It is a little bit annoying. The best thing you can do here is you want to ensure that every Super Bloom you do is a full bloom. So that means 8,000 out of 8,000. Kill the last boss. You want to get the green bag, the blue bag, the purple bag, last boss. And those 4 things are going to give you these dream leaf things that you need. These receive, I don't even know what they're called, but you need to get these dream leaf things. And once you get 200 of them, which is a lot, then you can turn in the quest or whatever for the next part. So while you're doing these, you'll get these blue tattered dream leaves. If you have a friend that's willing to help you, you can put this on them. They'll get a quest. They turn in the quest, and on RM Planes come back to you and put this buff on you that lets you do it. I did have this on me one time, which did help, but you can do this multiple times. If you have people to help you, ask them for help, man. If you have money to pay someone to help you, pay someone to help you. It will increase the speed if you do take advantage of this. Other than that, so like after doing it one time, I would say if I would have done it right away, it would have taken me probably like 8 to 10. I think it took me 8 to 10 Super Blooms personally to do it. So if I would have did it straight, it would have taken 8 to 10 hours because it's at the top of every hour. You can probably get that down to like 4 Super Blooms if you take advantage of this blue thing like to the max or whatever. So you could probably do it much quicker. But this just takes a while. It's really boring. You might even wonder like, why don't I have footage of getting the X in the background or whatever? And that's literally because it was very boring. It's most of the time I'm sitting here in Valdrakken right now. A lot of the time during this quest or during these quest lines, you are just sitting in Valdrakken doing nothing. It's not an entirely exciting experience. So after you do that, so you're going to want to be doing like all these things at the same time. But the way Wowhead has this settled up, we'll talk about the next part. So now you need to have this thing crafted. So you turn in the quest, and they're going to give you this thing, and you need some notes that you can teach somebody to get this crafted for you. So this is a leatherworking one. So you have to find a leatherworker. You need to get 400 Zerlit glow spores, 3 obsidian cobra skin. You'll be given the epic item, 5 dreaming essence, and 50 hide. From my experience, it has like ranks listed here. You can just buy the cheapest one. It doesn't have to be rank 1, 2, or 3. I just bought the cheapest one and it worked. So you just buy whatever you can afford. But of course you have to buy the amount no matter what. So then you'll use the notes on the person, and then they will get the recipe. It lasts for like a half hour. You go to the crafting order system. You put the crafting order to the person. They have to be in your party. and they will craft it for you. It'll come in the mail, and now you have that item. And we're going to do that for each of these as well. That same thing. So to the next part, now that you have this thing, this one's actually not too bad. I'll speak on it from the point of a rep paladin. So with this grip, you need to test it out. And basically what's going to happen is you're going to use this item, and it's going to do a ton of damage to you. If you use it natty, it's going to kill you, and you're not going to get any credit for it. I believe you have to do this 10 times to get 100%, so 10% per time. And as a rep paladin, what you can do is you can actually use your Shield of Vengeance and your Divine Protection. So I literally put my shield on, Divine Protection, and then use this item at the same exact time. And then you had to do that 10 times. You know, it'd leave me anywhere between 20%, 50% health. And then I'd heal myself up, flash a light or whatever. And then when my cooldowns are up, I'd just do it again. So it took about 10 minutes. This one was not bad as ret. You know, for other specs, I think I read some things for other specs that maybe you can even go to prot spec for like prot warrior, DK. You cannot attack while you're doing it, so you can't like death strike yourself up as a DK. You can't bubble either as a paladin. So you will have to have some sort of defensive way to get through this. Or I don't know if someone can sit and spam heal you while this is happening. I'm sure there are specific guides for different warriors and for DKs, but as ret, you can just survive it with your defenses. I know that for sure, because that's what I did. So I know for sure that that works. For the enchanting one, this one is going to require you to head over to, is this the Emerald Dream one? Let's see here, Fallen Protectors. 20 Radiant Flex. Okay, so this is actually the easiest one. So this one, you just need epic items, right? So you just need epic items. You can buy the stuff with resources from the Emerald Dream vendor. Anything you have accumulated. I had a bag full of items because I already knew I needed them. And this is just super easy. You get between like 1 and 5 dust, and you need 20 dust. So it doesn't even take that many items. It's really quick. This is by far the easiest one. The thing has like a 5-minute cooldown on it. So you know, it's going to take a certain amount of minutes no matter what, but this is actually very easy. You can just do this while you're doing the super bloom. You can do this while you're doing the other part, the rare spawn part that we're going to talk about. This part's very, very easy. So no point of spending too much time on this. Next up, you need the Sophic Vellum. That's what I just talked about. So now you need to get this crafted, right? Okay, so this one you're going to get crafted by the enchanter. And you're going to need 150 Awakened Fires, 100 Earths, 50 Orders, 200 Resonant Crystals, and then the item they give you. So you'll craft this. And then this is by far the most annoying one. And this, you're going to basically spend an hour AFK in Valdrakken, if you're like me. So every 5 minutes, you get 5% of your bar. And what you're going to do is you're going to use the item, and then it's going to make you feed 10 random elements into it. So like fire, earth. I believe it's fire, earth, frost, and air are the 4 choices they can give you. That's I never got order, for example, or decay or anything like that. And I just literally stood at the auction house and just bought whatever one came up that I needed. So this is a little even more of a gold sink. This one's a big gold sink, and you'll have to do that if you don't have a bunch of these orders sitting around. And it's random too, so you might have a lot of one, but that might not be the one that you need. I kept getting air for some reason a lot, 10 awakened airs, but this is just a time sink. This was just literally AFK in Valdrakken for an hour doing that. Then the inscription one, this one's actually pretty easy. So in the Emerald Dream, you'll need to get, wait. Oh my gosh, did I switch that up? Flex Vesh from killing rare mob. Yeah, this is the rare mob one. Never mind. So for this one, you're going to get an item and you use it on a rare spawn before you enter combat. Now, I do suggest, if you want to do this as quickly as possible, get the rare scanner add-on. It's literally one word, rare scanner add-on. It'll show you where all the rares are at in like the Emerald Dream or everywhere. And you can just fly to them. Now, before you enter combat, you use the item on it, and it's going to like attune you to it. And you'll get 1 to 3 or whatever of the material per kill. And just going around killing all the rares, you're going to get like halfway done really quick, in my opinion. And then the last boss of the super bloom, so while you're doing the super blooms, if you can get out of combat you can use it on the last boss of the Super Bloom as well. And then also the Emerald Frenzies. Those are like the little, they look like the two things at war on the map or whatever. The Emerald Frenzies. The boss that comes out of there, the Lasher, also counts as a rare. And you can fight that 2 to 3 times per frenzy. And so you can get credit 2 or 3 times per frenzy that pop up, which also helps a lot too. So this is one you can get done, you know, in a few hours, you know, tops, right? Like flying around or whatever. This one's not that bad. And you, like I said, you get credit during the Super Bloom that you might be doing anyways. This one's not bad at all. Then you need to get this crafted as well. It's going to be 10 Shadow Flame Essences, the thing they give you, 250 Cosmic Ink, and 50 Runed Writhe Bark. And again, I just bought the cheapest quality one that they had available. And then you're going to get a quest where you just have to attune yourself again. So I just went into LFR, did Gnarl Root and Igora, attune yourself before you enter combat with them. Then I just left the LFR. Then I queued for the one with Volcross, attuned to it, used the item on him before combat, and then killed him, got it done. This one was super easy. By far the easiest one was that one. And then you now this is the only part that was a little bit interesting that maybe I could have videoed or whatever. But you just you fly around, turn in the quests, and then you you know, you fight an Echo of Fyr'alath, and then you get your weapon finally, a 496 weapon. And now from this point we can kind of talk about how the weapon actually works. So this weapon is actually quite strong. I don't know if maybe some of the theory crafters were just wrong on some stuff. This is very good. I will be speaking, like I said at the beginning of the video, from the vantage point of a Rat Paladin, but you know, generally speaking, if you just care how the weapon works, you can listen as well. So it has crit haste on it, if that matters to you. It has a use, and it puts a an equip that puts a dot on things. Now, this is actually really cool for Mythic Plus. It ends up being, I did 1 Mythic Plus with it just to check it out right after I got it. And the dot that it puts on things, which can be just put on by your attacks, right? Like Divine Storm, whatever. It marks everything with a dot. So you basically just have a very strong ticking dot on all the trash and bosses too, but all the trash at all times. And it's very good. It's very strong for that. And so that's nothing. You don't have to worry about that too much. What the use does is it sucks up all the marks and does damage based on how many marks that you suck up. It also does damage if there are no marks as well, which is worth noting as well. And the use also, it works as a little bit of a gap closer. It is a bit of a charge. It's not a super fast charge or anything, but it is a bit of a charge, a bit of a jump or a leap or whatever. It's not super long range. It's like 20-30 yards or something. But you can use it for that purpose as well if you really want to. And so it sucks up the mark and does damage based on it. Now, what's super worth noting for Ret Paladins is this does not allow you to do any, while you're doing the on-use attacks, you can't press any other buttons. So first of all, you don't want to use it at a time where you need to run out or you need to bubble or you need to survive. You would want to bubble first, if anything, and then use it, because you're going to be, you know, not able to move, not able to do anything. You're just hardcore attacking during this thing. And so also you want to make sure, like when you're in single target in the raid or multi-target, you put your Final Reckoning down. You don't want to waste your put your Final Reckoning down and then use your weapon, and then you waste all your Final Reckoning time. Just the same way you don't want to waste your execution sentence. You don't want to pop your execution sentence and then pop the weapon. You want to pop your weapon before you start your opener, or you want to pop your weapon after your initial opener. But you don't, not based on the fight timings and stuff like that. But you don't want to pop it in the middle of it because it's going to screw you up. But it's very strong. This increased my simulation DPS by quite a lot. I haven't got to use it in the raid yet, but I suspect it's going to have quite a difference. Granted, I was only using a heroic weapon because I have not received a mythic weapon yet. So it's going to be a huge increase for me. It's also worth noting that they did a change where it does scale off of haste and crit now. So haste and crit are good. So the values for those things might go up even more for you once you do have this weapon. And yeah, it's really good overall. There's no huge tricks to it. There's going to be some fight timing stuff and some stuff. Oh, I don't want to use it here, I want to use it there. You know, make sure you use it when it makes sense in Mythic Plus on certain pulls and stuff like that. It's obviously good to use on AoE, but you want to send it out. It's only a 2-minute cooldown, so you're just going to be sending this thing pretty often, right? Basically, when it's up, you're going to send it. You know, maybe don't send it on like a a small 2-pull or something that your group is doing. Instead, maybe wait for the next 5-pull plus or whatever. Instead, use it like you would kind of like a trinket or something like that. I guess is kind of how I've been focusing on it, as is using it kind of where I would use a trinket in a Mythic Plus. And for raid, obviously you want to use it where you're going to get the most damage, and also not where you have to be moving out for a mechanic, because you don't want to be sit there using. I'll just show you guys the animation real quick. I mean, I'm sure some people want to see that. I'll go in here real quick. You don't want to use it while you're stuck in this animation or whatever. So we'll just go ahead and use it on this dummy. We'll use the charge here. So it's kind of a leap there. And then I see this cast bar here. It's like just like 2 or 3 seconds, but I can't really do anything when that's happening. So you do want to keep that in mind. So you kind of, and if I wanted to do more damage, I would have hit all these things first. And let's go ahead and show that, putting the mark on. Now, yeah, they all got the mark on it just from my Blade of Wrath, a cleave even. So everything's just putting the mark on everything. They're all just ticking damage right now from that. And then if I were to use my thing now, if it was up, I would do extra damage by sucking these marks of Fyr'alath off of them. Which is worth noting too. So pretty interesting there. Maybe it isn't Divine Storm that puts it on. Maybe it is. Maybe Consecration can put it on. I don't know, because it looked like it was fading off of some of them, which is interesting. Not sure, but or maybe it is Divine Storm and that's why it's fading off. Yeah, that's what it is. So Divine Storm definitely puts it on everything. So it's a very powerful weapon. It's a very cool weapon. It's going to be a gold sink. I did mention that too. I didn't get into the amount of gold. I spent about 250,000 gold on this, and I had a lot of the materials. It wouldn't surprise me based on your server if it cost you anywhere between, if you didn't have a bunch of the materials already, it wouldn't surprise me if it would cost you 500,000 to 1 million gold. So for some people, it just might not be worth it to make it. For me, it's really cool. You know, it's a technically like a transmog now, an item that I can use. It's a really cool looking axe, and it'll be really powerful for the rest of this tier as well. It might encourage me to do more Mythic Plus, and something that I don't do a lot, and push maybe some score of Mythic Plus, which I wouldn't normally do. So that could be an interesting avenue that it leads me to as well. So yeah, it's just it's a really cool weapon, and I just wanted to put out a video that might help somebody out in some way, in any way whatsoever, because there just aren't a ton of these out yet, and therefore there's not like a ton of videos about them or a ton of information about them other than like the Wowhead posts and stuff like that. And so I just kind of wanted to go over that. There's one more thing too. I hope, oh man, I hope people stuck around for this. It was the one with the enchanting. So when you use the item, the one I told you we're going to be AFK in Valdrakken for an hour, when you use the item, you're going to be channeling, right? You want to wait till the channel is completely finished. It'll pop up the extra action button before it finishes channeling. If you try to use it right away, it'll screw it up, and you'll have wasted 5 minutes. So for me, that 1 hour actually turned into an hour and 20 minutes because I wasted 4 of them, because I already had the material that I needed for that one, and I just tried to press it right away, and I didn't realize what was happening. And I finally put it together that because then if you start paying attention, you'll see sometimes there'll be like 2 seconds left on the channel, and it'll say awakened fire, let's say, on your extra action button. And then as it finishes the channel, it'll change to awakened frost or something instead. So that was something I wanted to mention during this, and I hope people stuck around for that, because that could save you, a lot of time if you aren't figuring out what's going on there. So yeah, that's it for this one. I guess I could ramble on more, but no real point. If you have questions though, I could probably try to answer those below, if you have questions about it. And if enough people have the same question, then maybe I'd make a follow-up video or something. But I am willing to answer questions on this if you have questions. Other than that, I do ask you to please subscribe to this channel because it helps me out a lot. And other than that, everybody have a good one.